Hello friends, my name is Apoorv and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to share my interview experience at Amazon for the position of Front-End Engineer 2. In case you are not aware, this is the second video in the series of interview experiences that I am sharing as part of the interviews that I appeared during March and April of 2022. So do consider subscribing the channel to be updated of the future videos. There are many more interview experiences to be shared. Before we begin the video, let's talk about our sponsor. This video is sponsored by none other than What the Code. What the Code is a platform that I am building for anyone who wants to learn and understand anything related to web development. As of now, you can go to blog.whatthecode.academy to read my technical articles and visit whatthecode.academy to see all the YouTube videos which I uploaded as part of What the Code YouTube channel. In those videos, you can learn and understand JavaScript and React. So if you are interested in learning and understanding those, then definitely consider visiting What the Code. Now moving on to the main content of this video. So first I'll talk about how did I receive the opportunity to appear for the interview. So during the January of 2022 first week, I was reached out by an Amazon recruiter and they asked me if I was interested to apply for a front-end position. I was like, sure, why not? I have never interviewed for Amazon and I would definitely love to interview. Meanwhile, at that time, I was not actually thinking of switching and I was just going to explore it. Even though I would have cleared, I am not sure whether I would have switched or not. But nonetheless, I wanted to get the interview experience. So the first round was sort of online test round, and I filled all my details in their Amazon portal, and I got the link. But the funny thing was, at that time I was working on a very important deliverable in Walmart, and I was doing a UI revamp for which I also got a lot of recognitions and award in Walmart, and it was very important deliverable, so I was very busy and I missed giving this test. Actually, I deprioritized it. So but at the end of Jan 2022 last week, I was just going through my mail and I saw that this is the test link. Still it is there and it is still live. So I was like, okay, might as well appear for a test. So I applied for a test and the test was fairly easy. I was able to do the MCQs within like 5-10 minutes, and then I was able to do the UI program. There was one UI program to be done in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, nothing else. So I was able to do it in another 15 to 20 minutes, and then that was it. I knew that everything was correct and I might be selected. But then I didn't get any reply. So I thought maybe because I delayed in appearing for the test, so I did not get any reply, and I did not think of anything of it. Now fast forward to March. So mid-March, and I had already started searching for job. So I was again reached out by Amazon recruiter. So this time I told her that I have already appeared for a test, so can that be considered now? So she checked it out and they fortunately considered that test attempt, and now my actual face-to-face interviews were scheduled. So there are in total 4 interviews. So they took my slots, they asked me for the slots and I provided them, then they scheduled the interviews. But the funny thing is, if they were rescheduling the interview because of the unavailability of the interviewer, then they were not asking me for a slot. They were just scheduling it on their own, assuming that I will be available at that time. Also, on the day of the interview, of any interview, you will get a call from them from some private number, and you have to answer them and say that you will be appearing for the interview today, otherwise your interview will be rescheduled. Okay, so I didn't know that, so I missed their call in one of the interview and my interview was rescheduled, and I was like, why is it rescheduled? I mean, I thought maybe the interviewer is not available, but then later I came to know because I did not answer their call, it was rescheduled. So if you are going to appear for Amazon interviews, make sure on the day of interview you will get a call from their private number, and because you cannot call back, so you cannot say that okay, I'm ready. You have to answer that and you have to tell them that okay, yes, I'll be there. So yeah, that's just one thing that I want to tell. So then there are total 4 rounds. So let me talk about the first round. The first round was sort of system design round, okay, but specifically for front end only. So the interviewer discussed with me a lot of things regarding web performance, optimization, HTTP, and other stuff, other web fundamental stuff, and then gave me a UI machine coding question to solve. Okay, and it has to be written in plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript. The question was very one line, was just a one line question, and I had to come up with the requirements. I had to ask him and get the requirements, and then come up with the solution. And there are a lot of back and forth, a lot of requirements that I did not ask him but were needed to be implemented. So he told him himself, and he needed a lot of optimization in that part, and the DOM manipulation had to be very minimal and very much optimized. So I was doing that as in when he pointed it out that this is something that can just be optimized, and I used my knowledge and I tried to optimize it. And that round went pretty well. I won't say extremely well, but it went well. So then that round was done. Coming to the second round. Now second round was hiring manager round. So again, this was very plain hiring manager, typical hiring manager round. Will they ask you what are the technical challenges that you have faced, any conflicts, how did you resolve, deadlines, how did you manage deadlines. So typical hiring manager round, and I was able to. I think I did very well in that. So, and also there are some Amazon principles that were tested in this, and I because I knew about them, so I did answer those well. And now coming to the third round. In the third round, it was a DSA round. So I was anyways little nervous. So the interviewer asked me a lot of questions based on trees and graphs. Okay, those are practical questions, but it was based on trees and graphs, and I tried my best to solve them using DFS and whatever well-known algorithms that are available, which I knew. And he did a lot of cross questions, so I was able to come up with solution for the base question that he asked. But whenever he did a follow-up question, added some constraint. At the time, I was struggling a bit, and overall, I would say it didn't go so well. Also, he asked a bit about the Amazon leadership principles that they have. So these are tested in all the rounds, by the way. So do focus on that. Yeah. So overall, DS round was okay. Now going to the last and final round. This was a combination of DSA plus front end, overall front end knowledge. So he tested my JavaScript skills. He again asked me to build a small UI using just plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I was able to do that. And then he asked me some couple of DSA questions. One was very tricky. It involved tree, and then their leaf nodes were circular, doubly linked list, and it was very confusing question itself. And I tried my best to solve it. And yeah, that was about it. And these are the 4 rounds. After the 4 rounds, Amazon never bothered to reach out to tell me the feedback. Though I knew that I may not have performed so well because based on the DS round, but still I was at least was expecting some response. Okay, I didn't have even a recruiter's number to follow up. I tried to mail but didn't get a response. So this is something that I didn't expect from a big tech company like Amazon, that they should at least share the feedback, like some generic template mail that you have, right? You're not able to clear the rounds or whatever generic template they have. But anyways, since they did not reach out to me for a couple of weeks, I understood I was not selected. And funny thing is, after a couple of months or 1 month, they shared a feedback form to tell them to make improvements of their interview process. I was like, man, first give the feedback of mine. Like, you are not even telling whether I was selected or rejected, and you want feedback on your interview process. I was like, a bit funny. But anyways, that was my experience. And I did, because I appeared for front-end interview, so all my interviews were in the JavaScript language, because this is a question that I usually get: which language did you use for DSA? So in general, I'll tell you based on my so many interview experiences. If you are appearing for front-end engineer, you are expected to do DSA. You are expected to solve DSA problems in JavaScript only. Only exception that I saw was Google, which can allow you in any language. Other than that, Amazon, Microsoft, Adobe, other companies, lots of startups, all expect you to do DSA problems in JavaScript itself. So this is the question which I get repeatedly, so I'm just addressing it. Apart from that, this was my experience. There's nothing else that I'm missing to share. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'll definitely answer those. So yeah, that's it for today's video. And yeah, one more thing before I move, that all the questions that I have been seeing mostly repeated and most important in my various interviews, I will be creating solutions to them in the What the Code YouTube channel. Okay, so even though I'm not telling you what exactly questions are asked in a company, but I know what are the most common ones and what are the most important ones, and I'll be definitely sharing you all the solutions to it in that channel. So stay tuned for it. Yep, go ahead and subscribe What the Code, and subscribe Approved Curry channel if you like this content. Yeah, that's it. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.